Hello everybody and welcome back to another lockpicking video. In today's video we will be having a look on this fancy JW14 lock from ABUS. It is a 10 on the security rating and we'll see about that later. But it also comes in a very special form factor. It is the Swiss round body cylinder. And if we compare it to a normal Euro lock, you see quite a difference in size. And the origin of these Swiss round body cylinders is, I think, when they were developing locks, they thought maybe, one row of pins is just boring. Like in the classical Euro style, you have a lot of room in the Bible for the pins and you can work there. And this leaves you mostly with just one row of pins, right? If you don't accompany with a sidebar or so. But then Keso came along and they said, we do 3 rows of pins at least. So you have a row of pin here, a row of pin here, and a row of pin here. And if you want to accommodate this in a normal lock, and you have the shear line just here, and you would have this as a housing for the Bible, this leaves you very little room. And in these Swiss styles locks, they are much larger in diameter. They have 22 millimeters compared to 17, and that gives you a lot of room here to put a Bible actually in the side of the housing. If we take a Keso lock shaped in a Euro style lock, which they also of course produce, you see 2 differences. Let's put one normal lock next to each. You see they made the outside a bit thicker to have at least some space for the Bible. And all this down here will be useless basically, just for mounting. And the Bibles, if you look on the back, they are here, here, and here. But from this point of view, it totally makes sense to just make a wider diameter. For my understanding, I think the Swiss profiles and the Euro profiles were developed rather at a similar time. And just more people tended to use the Euro profile. And by now this is very more common in Europe than the Swiss style. Of course, in Switzerland you will only find these locks, basically. So all the big manufacturers like ABUS and Dome and so on, they will also produce their locks, especially for Switzerland, but in this style format. So more details on this lock we're trying to pick today. This is, as mentioned, the JW14. It has 10 pins. And let's have a closer look at the box. So it's patented. Here you see the 22 millimeters again. It is highest protection against copying through this key card. Then it is useful for securing your house. And what else? A lot of possible bittings. It has 10 pins as mentioned, and it is good against drill attacks. It has a security card. It has a special keyway to prevent picking. We'll see about that. And overall that should make a 10 out of 10 on the security rating. So let's see about that. We'll get to this in a vise and see you back in a second. Okay, here we are back in the vise. Key works just fine. Actually, you can insert it in both directions, so it's a turnkey. Then I will use this tensioner here from Moki, along with a flat pick from Multipick, flat flag. And I will be attacking the pins on the left side from the top, and the ones on the right side from the bottom. But you will see that now. So basically I just go in and feel for stiffness. Pin 2, pin 3, pin 5, pin 1 again. And we got some core movement. Let's check the bottom. Just going in. Okay, something stiff in the front. back. Don't know if this is 4 or 5. Definitely binding though. Okay, there we go. And yeah, this is as fast as this goes typically. So definitely a 10 out of 10 on the security rating, if you ask me. But yeah. So I will get this now fast forwarded because I have no idea what's ahead of me. And then I can take my time and don't bore you. But I guess getting the C-clip off and so on. First steps. I will tell you in the end if something interesting came along. Okay, welcome back from fast forward. I decided to do a partially cut. I hope I can get it back together. It was crimped in place. Sorry to you if I screwed up, but this rod came out easily blocking it, but I will show you in a second. Let's have a look at everything. Yeah, these are just bits and bobs from the lock. Like we have some nice drill protection here, probably steel that just set in here, just like this. So yeah, drill protection, always nice to see. Then I only removed this side. I removed both side bars, and also I left the ball bearings here in place. Yes, ball bearings, you heard me correctly. So this lock is blocked by 2 side bars. One sits here, one sits here. And let me show you the housing. You see the grooves here and here. And then also you see something at the bottom. Focus, yeah. And there sits one single pin, which just goes and checks the key here in the second position, because the key has a small cut there. If you insert the wrong key, this is just one way of blocking rotation. You see the cut here. So these dimples on the key, they actually interact with ball bearings. These ball bearings sit here, yeah? And these, depending on how far they stick out, interact with these pins. Let's grab one. These pins here have a cutout. They have a slope for the ball bearing to push down on. Yeah, and they have a cutout. If this cutout goes on the right height, they will allow the sidebar to retract, push into the housing, into the core, and thus the core can turn. They have serrations, which I didn't feel that much, but they should help to improve picking protection a little bit, but I really never had the feeling that this helps a lot or something. But yeah, and these pins sit basically here in these holes, and there's a rod, which is this one on the other side. Yeah, this is like the plug on the Bible. And if you look here, so this is the side still ungutted basically, and if I pull out the key, you can see the gates moving, and the sidebar wouldn't be able to retract anymore, right? It wouldn't be able to go in. And basically this is how the lock works, but it is quite easy to pick once you have the right flag and so on. So once again, I will show you the pins all together, or at least from one side. Or maybe I put a photograph, hopefully. So yeah, interesting design. I would doubt that it is a 10 out of 10 on the security rating, but it is an interesting lock. I've yet not seen that design or something similar. So if you're still here, thanks for watching. Hope you liked this video and hope to see you next one. Bye.